Ryan, power slap number 6, right around the corner, going up against Nate Burnard. Is this the biggest fight for you in your career right now?
Yes, I would say so. I would say that Nate Burnard is definitely the number one toughest guy that I'll probably face.
With his skill set and the stuff that you've seen, you know, what do you think is going to be the biggest challenge for you to overcome?
Definitely his power. His power is second to none. I mean, you look at the guy; he looks like the Juggernaut out of a comic book. So definitely his power. See if my chin will hold up. Very confident in my chin. I've been hit by things that aren't human at 30, 40 plus miles per hour, and I've never been knocked out. So I believe I'll be able to take that shot, nullify the power, and we're gonna have a war, baby.
I mean, your last match with Darius Destroyer, I know you weren't 100%. How has the recovery kind of been coming, and where do you think you are going into this match?
Yeah, I feel good. I've been lifting, and progressively, I've been getting heavier and heavier to the point where I believe I haven't still been pushing it because I don't want to, overdo it or be stupid. I want to be smart about it. But I believe if I were to push myself, there is a chance that I could be pretty much back to where I was before the house or when we were in the house.
I mean, right now, obviously Nate's the number 1 contender spot. You're still holding down that number 4 spot. You've had it for a year now. Do you think this match, should you become victorious, sets you in line for a title shot?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Especially the way that this match will roll out. Usually my matches are all out wars. They're just entertaining, top to bottom. There's not a second where you're not going to be at the edge of your seat with my matches. You never know what's going to happen. I could be kicking my shoes off into the crowd 1 second. I could be screaming at Deontay Wilder at the side of the stage the next. So you're just going to have one exciting match. Everyone's going to be on their feet. I know it. Cleveland, Buffalo, both stages are going to be going crazy. And it's just going to be a showdown for the ages, man.
It seems like you were meant for a live crowd. We know this is the first time at the Durango that we are going to have, tickets being there. We know it's going to be packed. From what I've seen, it looks like the capacity is going to be double that of the Apex. With all the excitement, the Super Bowl, the celebrities, the stars that are going to be out there that weekend, is that going to make you rise to another level within your game?
That it's funny you say that because I've been thinking about it and manifesting it. And to be quite honest with you, once I click, once the switch is on, once I let that yell out, and that yell is just brutal to me, man. It's my heart and soul. I'm just letting out on this stage right there. I turn into something else, man. I turn now the King of Kings. I turn into the King of Kings. Ryan Phillips is no more once I'm near that table. So the intensity is just going to be insane. I'll be going absolutely wild. The crowd, I'm going to try to get them as riled up and as wild as possible, like I did the last time. And I feed off that energy. It makes me more powerful, and it definitely makes me a lot stronger when I'm feeding off the crowd.
I hear you. In interviewing the Bell, actually, before his match against Nate, we had the conversation about experience versus athleticism. The Bell didn't want to fight Nate in a year or two out, but he was ready to take him on at the time. He thinks as Nate continues to gain more experience, he'll become, more dangerous. How do you think the experience side that you have, not only as a coach, but also as an athlete, is going to help you in this match?
I think every match that you have, you're going to learn something new. At least I do. Every match that I've had so far, I've learned something new about myself, if not the game in general. Definitely don't take your shoes off. So if anyone's watching and you're thinking about taking your shoes off, don't fucking do it. It's a death wish. I think my experience is going to speak volumes once again. However, though, I mean, in professional competition, me and Nate basically have the same experience. We both have 3 fights. Mine probably more so meaningful than his because the one I will fight was a very big fight for the promotion in itself. The one at the house with Duane was also a big fight, and the one with Darius, in my opinion, for me, was a very big fight. It was very telling of my future. So I do think it'll come into play. However, once again, Nate's power. When you guys asked me who would take it, the Bell or Nate, I said whoever gets the coin toss, and that's the kind of power that the Bell and Nate are bringing to the table. Now, my kryptonite is my chin. I've been hit harder than life itself. I've been hit with I've been hit by a car. I mean, going 30 miles per hour, and I got launched like 100 feet. And I was fine. So there's things that for me as a person that I can withstand that other people cannot, and I believe that my chin will hold up. But I think the power of Nate is what I have to really look forward or set up my game plan for.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, yeah, definitely the athleticism and the power, in the heavyweight division is something obviously that you're going to want to take into account going up against, the top level. I mean, this is the best of the best, like you said, going for a title shot. How do you think the rule set of where it is now versus where it was, when you fought Duane and when you fought, the one-eyed wolf? Do you think it's going to actually help you or hinder you with the evolution?
No, it's going to help me. These rules are definitely helping me. I'm a very clean fighter. I don't like to foul. I unfortunately I fouled because I had to use my left, which was not only broken in and of itself, but I just didn't train. I didn't train, so my accuracy was way off, and that's how I fouled. In my own terms, I could have probably fouled twice in that Duane fight because my shot was a little bit high on the eye as well. But they didn't call that. So, but no, with my right, I am deadly accurate. It's actually kind of ridiculous. I actually, I think it's my hand-eye coordination by playing video games for all these years. But I think it helps me. I think in the moment, I think I subdue people in the moment. They don't expect what I bring when I get on the stage. I'm a completely different person. Like I said, Ryan Phillips is dead. It's the King of Kings when I'm up there. So I don't think they expect that. I'm a really nice guy, but when you get me in war level, King mode activated, it's trouble.
Absolutely. February 9th comes around, you get up on that stage. How do you foresee this match unfolding? Is it going to be done in the first, or do you kind of see this going, deep into the match and potentially a decision?
I always expect a war of 3 rounds or more. So I'm planning for a war. I'm planning to also have lost the coin toss. So I'm already looking into going into the match like I'm getting hit. A lot of people have asked me, One-Eyed Wolf being one of them, if I was scared, and I'm like, "What are you talking about, bro? I'm not. I'm ready here. This is something that I'm destined for. That belt is mine. I should have had that belt a while ago, to be honest with you, but unfortunately, injuries. Yeah, I see this going the distance. I have to. I can't see it any other way. Do I expect a knockout or anything of the sort? We both have serious power. When I keep my shoes on, my power and my form is going to be a lot better. Like, there was so many mistakes that I made in the Darius match that you guys don't probably notice that I do, and my swing was not. I was not swinging like I normally do. So, be prepared for the shoes to stay on and that swing to be fucking boiling hot.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have both fought Duane, so I mean, I guess you can draw, some parallels, from the same competitor. I mean, obviously, you were swinging with your left, which hopefully you don't have to do again. God forbid. But I'm sure this time you'll be you'll be ready for it. With Nate and watching his last match, that championship match, is there anything that you can draw from that? Anything that you think you can exploit?
And this comes from a lot of people. I think a lot of people think that Nate doesn't like to get hit because he went down with one hit by the Bell. But in my opinion, like I said, the Bell himself, he's got ridiculous power out of nowhere. It's very strange. It's a weird power that the Bell has. I mean, he is a big guy. Don't get me wrong. But he's not very physically imposing. Like Nate's physically imposing. We're gonna see, what he has. That could be, he may not have taken a lot of hits in his life. He has to have though, because he's a football player. But I don't know. I don't really see. I don't see a lot of weaknesses in Nate's game. I think what happened with him and the Bell is just, the Bell got the coin toss. I honestly think that if it were the other way around, it could have went in Nate's favor as well. So I just have a ton of respect for Nate. He's a good guy. With the fight, it's crazy. I think about him, think about the fight, think about Nate. But, I really have absolutely nothing bad to say about Nate. He is a great person. I'm glad he's in the league with us. He's a great role model to people. And, it's just a pleasure to be up there with someone like him. And he's a future legend in and of itself. So.
Mm-hmm. Awesome, man. We see the respect is definitely strong going into this one. I'm going to ask you one last question.
Yeah.
KO Chris or Emmanuel Muniz in that championship match?
I'm going with Manny. Manny, no love. Man, that's my boy. Ever since the house, I've had a great friendship with Manny, and I think he's going to get it done. He's got the hit. He won the coin toss, as you saw on the show. Which was a great thing to see. Hopefully we see more coin tosses. Manny. I think Manny gets it done. I think Manny is hungry, more prepared. I think he's actually looking at this at a professional standpoint. I've talked to him plenty of times, and the conversations are great. His head is in the right place. I love to hear what he has to say and just the vision that he has. And I think he's manifested the win already. And yeah, I think he's going to beat KO Chris.
Awesome, man. Appreciate you joining me. Look forward to seeing you there in Vegas. We know you're going to show up and show out February 9th from the Durango and free and live on Rumble.
Woo! Slap news. Tune in, baby.